The first shot exploded through the air like a small bomb, violent enough that several shoppers instinctively ducked. Some thought it came from the adjacent Baltimore Pike, a busy road that often masked loud noises. But this sound was closer, too close. Shoppers at Springfield Mall, Pennsylvania, jolted in confusion. It was 12:35 p.m., October 30th, 1985, one day before Halloween. The lot was crowded kids in costumes, parents juggling bags, teenagers drifting toward the timeout arcade. When the next blast echoed off the two-story concrete facade, some dropped to the pavement. Others turned, searching for the source. A woman near the entrance dropped her coffee. A man at the stairwell spun toward the sound. And then they saw her. A young woman in combat boots, pacing forward with a .22 caliber Ruger 10-22 semi-automatic, the same model widely sold in sporting catalogs at the time. She advanced with eerie calm, as if following a rehearsed script. Bullets snapped past a row of cars. Shoppers scattered, screaming. A security alarm blared from the J.C. Penney wing. The air filled with the metallic smell of exhaust and gunpowder, drifting between the lane dividers. Near the southeast entrance, Edward Seitz, a maintenance worker on break, turned toward the shooter. Her first shots missed him by inches, ricocheting off a concrete curb. He reacted instantly, lunging forward, stabbing her tire with an ice pick he used for winter maintenance. Rubber burst. The car slumped, but the gunwoman kept moving. He had slowed her escape, not the attack. Springfield Mall was the heart of Delaware County suburbia. That morning, 25-year-old Sylvia Seegrist, who lived in a nearby apartment on South Bishop Avenue, wandered the same corridors she would later terrorize. Diagnosed with chronic schizophrenia at age 15, she had spent years in and out of Haverford State Hospital and Crozer-Chester psychiatric programs. Neighbors reported her shouting at invisible figures. Local police had responded to more than a dozen welfare checks involving her erratic behavior. At the gym, wearing fatigues, she lectured strangers about military tactics and urban combat. Still, she legally purchased the rifle from Kmart in Media, Pennsylvania, a standard sporting goods purchase requiring no mental health background check at the time. At 11:50 a.m., she returned home, changed clothes, armed herself, and drove her Datsun B210 toward the mall with chilling certainty. When she parked 30 yards from entrance 3, the attack unfolded in under 4 minutes. A bullet missed a woman at the outdoor ATM of First Pennsylvania Bank. Another shattered the glass door near the Orange Julius counter. Inside the Magic Pan restaurant, 2-year-old Recife Cosman was struck and killed instantly. Glass from the small shoe store and department store spilled across the tiles as the crowds fled. A cashier at Walden Books ducked as a round tore through a promotional display overhead. Earl Trout, 67, was shot 3 times near the concourse fountain. Augusto Ferrara, 71, collapsed by the restaurant corridor. 7 others were wounded. Then, suddenly a pause. On a bench outside the piercing pagoda, graduate student John Lawfer, 24, sat motionless, struggling to reconcile noise, smoke, and disbelief. Until that day, Lawfer had believed Sylvia Seegrist was merely a prankster, a nuisance, unsettling but not dangerous, an assumption shaped by weeks of odd behavior that never quite crossed the line into threat. That belief evaporated in an instant. When she turned toward him and raised the rifle, instinct overtook reason. What happened next was fast, clouded, imperfect. Laufer lunged. Hands struck the barrel. The rifle jerked sideways. Shots did not fire. Witnesses later disagreed on the details, whether the weapon was twisted, whether it jammed, whether she hesitated, only that the momentum of the attack broke. The shooting stopped. Seegrist did not fire again. Moments later, she lowered the rifle and surrendered as officers from the Springfield Police Department rushed in. "My family makes me nervous," she muttered. In court, Seegrist cursed the judge, demanded execution, and showed no understanding of the carnage. She was found guilty but mentally ill, receiving 3 life sentences plus 7 10-year terms. Years later, after consistent medication inside SCI Muncie, she expressed remorse. But for those who lived those 4 minutes, time never returned to normal. 2 days after 8 people were killed at a tram stop in Prague, a letter reached newsrooms across the city. It began bluntly, "This is my verdict on society." Signed, Olga Hepnarová, age 22, a former postal worker known for her isolation and simmering resentment. On 10th of July, 1973, in the quiet residential district of Kobylisy, a line of elderly passengers waited beside tram line 14, a route that connected the housing estates to central Prague. It was 1:30 p.m., heat shimmering off the cobblestones. A Praga RN truck, a 3-ton flatbed produced in the 1950s and considered outdated even then, approached the intersection of Ulic pod Sídlištěm. Witnesses later recalled the engine revving unnaturally loud for the decline in the road. It accelerated, not slowed. The impact was devastating. Bodies were thrown several meters. 3 people died instantly. 3 more at Bulovka Hospital within hours. 2 others succumbed days later. 12 were injured, including 1 woman whose injuries required long-term orthopedic reconstruction. Hepnarova did not flee. She stepped out calmly, her hands visibly shaking, and told stunned witnesses, "I am responsible. This was deliberate." Months earlier, she had scouted locations across Prague, Wenceslas Square, Masaryk railway station, and several tram hubs before selecting this stop for its predictable elderly crowd and minimal police presence. Her background revealed years of institutional notes, emotional detachment, nicotine dependence, depression, attempted suicide at 13, and treatment at Opajani Psychiatric Institution. She had sparse friendships, strained family ties, and no support system during the final years of her life. In court, she showed no remorse. She stated she wished she had killed more. Judges sentenced her to death. On 12th of March 1975, at Pankrak Prison, she was executed by short drop hanging, the final woman executed in Czechoslovakia before judicial reform. It was 8:30 a.m., January 29, 1979, at Cleveland Elementary School in the San Carlos neighborhood of San Diego. The playground buzzed with the sound of children arriving for class, the flag being raised, and teachers supervising morning routines. Across the street, inside a small cluttered house on San Carlos Drive, 16-year-old Brenda Spencer aimed a Ruger 10-22 rifle with a telescopic sight, a Christmas gift from her father, despite her ongoing behavioral issues.
Minutes after 16-year-old Brenda Spencer started shooting, police officers arrived at the scene ready to take any necessary action in order to avoid any further bloodshed. After neighbors, nearby residents, and all the school...
She opened fire toward the school entrance. Principal Burton Ragg, trying to shield children and unlock the gate for fleeing students, was shot and killed. Custodian Mike Suture died pulling a young boy to safety. 9 children, ages 6 through 12, were wounded, several struck by ricocheting rounds off the asphalt. Spencer barricaded herself inside for more than 6 hours as the San Diego Police Department deployed snipers, negotiators, and armored vehicles. During the standoff, she spoke casually with reporters from the San Diego Tribune, delivering the line that would define the tragedy: "I just don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." Her home life reflected long-term dysfunction, malnutrition noted by school staff, untreated depression, chronic truancy, and arrests for burglary. Her home was sparsely furnished. Investigators later described it as near empty, aside from mattresses on the floor and stacks of bottles. She pled guilty to 2 murders, receiving 2 concurrent 25 to life sentences plus 48 years for assault charges. She has been denied parole repeatedly, with officials citing inconsistent accounts and lack of remorse. Her attack became one of the first modern school shootings to receive international attention, inspiring the Boomtown Rats' 1979 hit, "I Don't Like Mondays." The pattern didn't end there. Each case began quietly, an unnoticed room, a withdrawn figure, a series of missed interventions, years of signals unaddressed. What would ultimately leave 13 people dead in a matter of seconds did not erupt suddenly. It accumulated methodically until the moment it broke into public view. Different cities, Springfield, Prague, San Diego. Different weapons, different decades. But the same chilling truth. The danger was visible long before the first shot, the first engine rev, the first cracked window. And yet is the most terrifying thing really that we never notice the atrocities hidden behind their quiet, mundane faces. I presented the 3 crimes. Now the jury, that's you, delivers your verdict. The case reopens in the comments.